What's up, guys? Brian here. Today we're not in the Gecko lab. We are at Exotic Racing in Las Vegas. We're gonna go drive some cars.
Go back to left and squeeze that gas towards the exit. And now full forward, just go. Constant. Feel the power. Up again. Up again. Alright, down, then hard. Down shift. Down again, stay there.
Ready? Move on, down way. Go. And look. Now make a feel for the brake pad. Stay at the left side of the track.
Good to go, 1 point. Let's go get this guy. Upshift. Again. Brake hard, harder, downshift, harder, downshift again. Then turn it to the right, trip more, a little bit of gas. And then smooth gas out to the left, straight wheel. Upshift. Hard brake again, harder, downshift.
And then accelerate down. Back around right. Go for a jump. Clear. That's straight in. No brake. Accelerate, go ahead. Go. And then no brake. First one. There you go again. Not winding towards that exit. Full throttle. Let's go. How do you feel, man? Good? Good. All right. Keep it up.
All right, everybody, we're back at the hotel. We're staying at the Paris here in Las Vegas. I'm here with Will and Audra from Flawless Crested Geckos. We came out for a nice weekend of relaxation and more gecko talk than my wife can handle for a nice long weekend. Done a just massive amount of fun stuff. I can't remember. We're on our last day here. We fly home tomorrow.
Yep.
We did the car driving like you guys saw. That was wildly fun.
Yes. Insanely fun.
Glad to finally
Amazingly
check that off the bucket list. I got to
Yeah.
drive the Ferrari F8. That was
Lamborghini, Huracan.
Insane.
Yeah.
Got the
Lifetime
Huracan.
experience.
Ferrari.
Audra did the 440, and then my wife drove the R8. She was real excited to drive the Audi. That was a damn good time.
Insane speeds.
It's wild. When you first pulled out and the guy's like, okay, go through the first corners, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And he hit the first straightaway and he goes, well, put it to the floor. Like, fuck, okay.
Okay.
That was wild.
Oh.
Definitely nice to get that off the bucket list. I wanted to do that for years.
Yes.
They do it like a tour too, where they go to all the different racetracks around the country. So they do it. There's one about 2 hours south of me in Denver.
Oh, wow.
They do it at, but I've never.
We haven't seen them by us.
No?
No.
I think twice a year they come through the one in Colorado.
Every time we've seen it out here in Vegas.
Yeah. I booked it once for my stepdad for his birthday, and they ended up canceling it on us.
Oh, no.
And I never was able to get it rebooked for him, so I always felt
Oh,
bad.
lucky. Let's go around, man.
Yeah,
That's
it
very
worked out
lucky.
for us. There was a NASCAR race yesterday, and I was all day Sunday. I was like, God, there's going to be like a huge wreck at the NASCAR race, and they're going to have to delay the end of the race till Monday and cancel our whole thing, but it all worked out.
What an experience.
What else did we do? We did that. We did the
Plenty of eating.
lots of
drinks. Lots of
eating,
drinks.
tons of ice cream.
Yeah.
Lots of walking, too.
Lots of
Yeah,
Lots of
you get to, I
walking.
mean, it's Vegas, so
It's
it's
valid.
6 miles to everywhere.
We gave money away.
And we're in Vegas. Did
Oh,
some
my
shopping.
goodness.
And once in a while, we gave money away and actually got something in return.
Some of us did. I did not.
Well, I didn't lose but $15, so I didn't do too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's been a good weekend.
Yeah, she lost more at the outlets.
I did.
Outlet shopping.
At
Yeah.
least there you get something back though.
Accurate.
That's been a good time. Anyways, let's talk geckos. I want to know more about your guys' gecko projects.
Okay.
I know you've got the Xanthic project. Obviously, you're working on building up, and I know your high white stuff is.
Yes, we have
It's top.
the Xanthics, which we hold back a lot. Haven't really released much. Everything has been through private sales. Anything that we have released, and our high white, non-lily white project.
Those are my favorite.
Same thing. We hold back a lot. We probably last time we checked, hold back wise, maybe clearly over 100.
Oh, definitely.
Just in our holdbacks, not counting everything else we have going on. But definitely that. We also have our lily whites. We're working on more of the vibrant colors, the reds, the white, mixed with the yellow and the oranges.
One really crazy awesome. A lily white that we're holding back. It's a beautiful baby with a lot of yellow. It's a different kind of yellow color that we're excited about.
Is it the one you showed me at dinner the other night? Didn't you show me one on your
I think
phone that you really liked?
Maybe.
Had all the yellow with the white on? I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so. So we're working on lily whites. Also our reds. We have a ton of reds. Reds are our favorites. We like the red and yellows, but mostly the red and whites, which is what we're focusing
Love the
on.
red and white.
Yeah.
So that's been a main part of our program, our reds.
Well, I'll say this: red is his favorite color,
Yes.
and I liked the highlights, so we just kind of put it together.
It's a good compromise. Mix them together.
Yes.
And next thing you know, we just have a whole bunch of morphs in our collection.
It's funny how that goes. I can remember at one point like everybody does, I got to the point where I was like, oh, my collection's complete now and I got everything I want. And I decided I wasn't going to do a red project and I
Oh my
wasn't going to
goodness.
do a Dalmatian project.
We said
Which
it. We said that.
clearly backfired because the Dalmatian project is really like that's until the Xanthics came around, the confetti line was what I was best known for. And at one point, I was decided I'm not going to do Dalmatians.
It's
as
strange
crazy as that
because,
sounds.
like you said, with Dalmatians, we steered away from them for a very, very long time. And I believe we got two from altitude, and it was out of this world. And I believe it was Dalmatians and extreme Harlequin pattern. So I had patterning. It wasn't a base, a flat base or anything, and we just loved it. Like the spots just shot out at us. And we're like, oh, this is the way we're going.
Yeah.
We gotta go after
We've
that.
got to
So
do this.
we started focusing more on Dalmatian spots and super dolls and ink blotches, and now we're just like over the deep end, a whole nother project
A
opened
whole
up.
another project. Oh my goodness.
That's the way it goes. I know I had, I think I talked about this in one of my sales preview videos. It was one of the Phantom Pinstripe Super Dolls I put up, and I was talking about it like this was a project that I had. I kept it pretty small for years, but I've been working on it for 6 or 7 years.
Right.
And then I've learned over the years how many breeders I can carry without getting overwhelmed. I just I have a number and I'm like, this is where I'm good. I don't get overwhelmed. I don't get too crazy, too busy, too many animals. I now know what I can take care of properly, because if you get too many, you start cutting corners and that's not good. So it took some time to really nail that down. But now that I've got it, every time I bring in new projects, like I've got to move something out so I don't end up overwhelming myself.
Makes sense.
One project I decided to cut a couple of years back was the orange Phantom Pinstripe Super Doll project.
Right.
And now that I'm 2 years on from that, and my latest, the last generation of babies are hitting full size, and I'm selling a bunch of them, I'm like, I didn't know you were gonna be this nice.
Right.
So now I'm looking at them like, well, maybe I'll pick out just 1 or 2 males and a few females and restart this a little bit. I can put 2 more cages somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of those geckos that end up being one-offs, one of one, and you're not gonna duplicate it. You may get close, but you won't duplicate it.
That's what the driving factor on why everybody gets mad, because I don't sell babies. I get questions all the time. Why don't you sell young ones? I want to see them grow. I want cheaper ones. And I'm like I want to watch them grow. If I give them to you, I can't do that.
And we do a little bit of both,
Yeah.
babies, and some of them we hold back and watch them grow. But you know what? We've definitely kicked ourselves as far as selling some a little young, and then coming back and then, hey, check this out. This is what they look like now. We're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
No, we
like
didn't
there's
just
one,
do this.
Bum Bum. Is
Oh
it
yeah,
Bum Bum?
yeah. Well, we sent it to a buyer over in California. And we're
And
like,
they
oh my god, we probably
Posted
shouldn't
their
do
own
that.
pictures a couple of
We
times.
probably shouldn't have sold it.
Yeah.
So seller's remorse a little bit.
Definitely.
But
Yeah,
it's a
I've got a
learning,
lot
learning
of that.
process.
I had a bunch of, we talked about this earlier when I used to do Facebook auctions back in the day. That was one of the big reasons I quit selling babies, because I auction off babies. And there was one I vividly remember, went for $45, a little red pinstripe, and it grew up and it was just covered in cream, drippy dorsal, just insane. I'm looking at it going, $45.
$45.
Why didn't I just grow it out?
Yes.
it would still be here breeding. I would not have sold that. It'd be one of my main breeders now.
Right. And I mean, we get the same inquiries. Also, we actually get a lot of inquiries about wholesaling because we don't wholesale ourselves at all. And that's primarily because all of our geckos have been handpicked. You know, we looked out, researched, did everything we needed to do on our end, and we selected these individual geckos as a part of our collection and chose to work with those. And a lot of time, our offspring, we don't really have very many that are kind of blah.
Just run the mill.
Yeah, we really don't have any mill geckos, so it's like we don't really have any to offer for wholesale.
Yeah.
So a lot of our geckos are individually, set. So
Yeah, I did that for a long time with the wholesale stuff. I kind of went through a phase where, like, early on, I just wanted to be a professional breeder. I wanted that to be my job. And then part of how I got to that point was I just kept everything I produced and kept every female I could get my hands on. And I was like, I just have to have big numbers, more.
right.
And then I got to the point where I was hatching 5,000-6,000 a year, wholesaling half,
Oh, wow.
2/3 of them off. And I remember one day looking around and being like, I got too many animals. They're not getting the attention and care that they need because there's too much stuff here, and it's just not fun. Like at some point it didn't become profitable either. But even before that, I was looking around going like, just having 500-600 breeding females that I don't even care what the babies look like. They're all going into one rack, and then I ship 50 of them at a time to Petco.
Right.
It was good business, but it wasn't any fun. And
That's the other part of it as well. I mean, we've been doing it long enough now where our collection has been, like we said, individual geckos that we've collected from all over, that it's just like you said, it's very, very fun for us. This is the fun part.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of success. If you're not enjoying it, you're not going to be successful. That's something I get with people that ask me all the time, how do you, tell me how I can make a business. I want to be a reptile breeder.
You gotta have that passion. You gotta have a passion.
And it's got to be built off passion, and if you can make money off it, great. But the passion and the interest has to come first. You can't do it for the money. If you can do it and make money, that's great if that's your job, but it needs to be
in here first.
Yeah, it's not a desk job. You can't just show up at the bank and push papers around. That doesn't work that way with animals.
It's been great for us because we stay so busy outside of our home that we are able to spend time together doing something that we enjoy.
Right.
You should see us in our gecko room like, right, look at this one. Oh my God, look at how it's progressed. We're just like, oh, why don't you get the light? We'll fire it up and take pictures of it.
And all of a sudden 4 hours turned into 6 and 8 hours.
That's cool. You guys get to do that together though. That's not something it's obviously totally different situation. My wife likes the geckos and she's real supportive, but she's not part of the business. She's here with us. You guys have met her. She's great. She likes it, but it's not her thing. Yeah. So I'm lucky that I've only had a few employees over. When did I first hire somebody to work for me? 7 years ago. Right. And I've only had 4 different people work for me in 7 years. Yes. So I've been lucky to have employees that I'm also friends with, and they're also there because they like the geckos. And it's for most of the time it's a passion for them too. So I kind of get that with them, where especially the girl that works for me now, she's super engaged with the animals. She cares, truly cares about taking care of them right. She constantly worries. Sometimes she'll come to me and I'm sorry I'm here so late. I should have been out of here at 5 and it's going on 7 o'clock and I just had to clean everything today. And I'm like, no, if you're here because you're cleaning too many cages, I promise I'm willing to pay you for the hours. Right. If you need to leave. But if you're willing to work, be here all day and clean cages, you're doing things right. I don't care. So it's nice to have that interaction with her where she'll see something cool and
that's what we're talking about.
Hear her yelling at me from 4 rooms away.
We're reaching that stage now. We need our own employee to come in and do the same thing.
Yeah. It gets to a point where it's all about streamlining and learning how to build a system to do everything.
Maximize your time.
We definitely have learned to maximize our time by kind of like an assembly line.
Right.
It's he has a certain area that he's best at feeding and pulling out, and because he's taller than me, obviously. And then I have my little area that's super easy for me to feed, and I quickly get through them. And so we just try to maximize our time.
Yeah, that's key to get a schedule. Sometimes I'll have a day where, me and Jessica are trying to go out and do something, and like I'm not done working yet. I got animals to feed. She'll come over and, well, can I help? Is there anything I can do? And I'm like, honestly, not really. It's kind of all built around one person doing it.
Yeah.
Like if you're here,
It's not gonna work out.
it's all built. So I have a system, and there's just not much you can do. I make her wash a lot of cages when she has free time because days that her business isn't doing much.
Right.
She'll want to help out with me, and I'm like, yeah, you can this stack of cages right here. You can clean all of them. I'm sure she loves that.
Just
But
like, no.
she's very helpful and supportive, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's always good. When you got your significant other, or wife, husband, whatever, to really support you.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, that's neat that you guys get to kind of engage in it together, because
Absolutely.
that makes it like I said, it's got to be a passion, and if it's something that brings you two
Enjoyable.
together too, it's even better.
Definitely.
That's a good time. It's been a hell of a weekend. Talking geckos every night. sitting
Every
in-
night, every morning.
every night, every morning, every meal, we're sitting
Yeah.
around talking about, if you sold to this person, and let me tell you
That's
this
right.
story, I had something happen here. It's been a good time.
Yes.
Well, like it's rare that you find like-minded people. And,
Yeah.
this
It's
hobby that we're in, and
Extremely rare.
especially how we kind of stick to ourselves in the hobby. And,
yeah, I'm the same way.
We don't socialize, so
Yeah, I'm not. People always think it's weird when I say this because I've got so many YouTube videos and all my pictures on Instagram and everything, and I'm like, I'm not a very social person. The girl that works for me, when I told her my idea about this whole adventure tour that I'm going
Right.
to run in Belize, I told her about it, and she looks at me like, why would you want to do that? You don't like people, Brian. I'm like, I don't know. It sounds like fun. Like I think it would be a good time. And she's like, yeah,
I
but
think it's the people.
it's
in
just,
general,
you gotta surround yourself with good people.
yeah, because we love helping people in general. It's just sometimes there's a fine line where you kind of may step across it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like those are the ones where it's like it's kind of tough to work with,
Yeah.
where they kind of feel like they're entitled to something or anything
Yeah,
like that. Where
I've
it's
told
kind of
plenty of
difficult.
stories about those.
Yeah, kind of difficult to work with those, but
The story I told you guys at breakfast this morning with the guy, I've told that on my channel in a different video of the dude that wanted to buy an Azanthic before I'd ever sold one,
Right.
way back in the day, and he just sent me $5,000 thinking I wouldn't say no, and it just sent him an animal. I'm like, I get where you're coming from because you're thinking it's a power move, but really, you're just kind of a douche. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it was just I kind of got
Bad
it, but at the
move.
same time, I'm
Bad
like, I'm
move.
not the person that's gonna give in to that. Sorry,
Right.
my eyes don't get all big at money. Like
At
I
the end of the
care about
day,
my animals more than
Exactly.
just
you
That's-
care about the
that's
animals
fine.
more than the money, number one, and then
Mhm.
also you want to treat people the way you would want to be treated.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, so
And some people don't understand that they're live animals. I can't imagine how many times I get people that they don't comprehend that just because you have the money to buy a gecko doesn't mean you just get to buy it. Like I
Right.
get people that'll hit me up, oh, do you have any charcoals for sale? And I tell them, well, yeah, I put stuff up every Friday night. Check the website. There's 3 charcoals growing up this week. They're like, yeah, but I want like 5 males and 10 females. I got
Special order,
20
yeah.
grand. Can we do it? And I'm like, no.
Mhm.
You think I got 40 high-end charcoals just sitting around waiting for someone like you? That's not how it works. They're live
Yeah.
animals. They're all individual. You can't just buy a box of them off the shelf at Costco. And so
Exactly.
some people think
that's
it works
that's
like
what
that.
I would probably suggest to people. If you see something that you see that's available, probably should just go ahead and jump on it as soon as you can. Because a lot of people, they always come back and say, hey, that gecko you had up there last week or last month, I think I want to get, and we're like, well, it's gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, do you have another one that's close to it? Not exactly,
Yeah,
no. So
Yeah, I
it's
think that's
difficult.
important for shopping for geckos. You have to really know what you want, and you gotta
I
make
tell
up
When you
your
see
people all
it,
the
you
mind
get
time.
it. Yeah.
and then shop for it. It's
I
not
tell people, because we did it ourselves, you know, I tell people all the time, if you're getting into the hobby and you want to get special, like very, very special geckos, you need to put your money away, then wait to see who you're going to purchase from or what you're after, and go for it as soon as it's released.
Mhm.
Because a lot of the sales that you put on, we put on, same thing, and it's like, yeah, we work with people here and there if you know, according to our policies on our site. But bottom line is save your money, and then when you have it right there, send that message or make that purchase. Don't expect to pay, you know, buy a $5,000 Gecko and send someone $100 deposit.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Or
necessarily
even
work
if you've
that
got
way.
the $5,000, think you can just walk up and it's gonna
And
be
do it,
there
yeah,
for you
because
they're just
someone
not.
else. That's happened to us.
Even
We've
if
had
it's a $200 Gecko, it might not be there.
we've had high dollar
We
geckos
actually
sell,
had it.
and you know, we've had several people after the same
Mhm.
geckos.
This was
and
recently, like I remember us
like,
having
well,
it.
it's, you know, it's kind of first come first serve. You know,
That's why I try and do preview videos. I learned it was actually I kind of fell backwards into that years ago. My old website that it was just a disaster that crashed every time.
we know.
We know.
One of the ways I tried to get around the website crashing, because at first it started crashing because I would upload 100 geckos at once and it couldn't handle the upload, but they were uploading at 9:59 and the sale starts at 10,
Right.
and it just couldn't handle everything. So the way I tried to get around that was like, I'll upload on Monday and just disable the store, and that way when the site goes live Friday night, it doesn't crash.
Still crash.
I was just trying to get the website to work, and kind of backwards fell into realizing, oh, if people get to see it for a week, they can plan what they want,
right.
and people get excited about it, and they can really, you know, make better decisions about their purchase. So that was almost on accident that I started doing that, and now people just like it so much that they don't have to impulse buy a Gecko, because I think a lot of people make decisions they end up regretting when they
Right.
see 10 geckos go up, and they know if I don't buy it right now, someone else is going to, and maybe they don't want that one. I've had people come back and, well, I bought it, but I was just all excited and amped up and wanted a red one, but that's not the right red one for me. And then I feel bad because I'm like, well, like that's on
Yeah.
you, not on me. But I also
And at the same
understand,
time,
like
you
you,
needed it.
you
Right.
want to get the
It's
gecko
understandable.
that's right for you. So it's just a bad situation all the way around. So yeah, doing those previews really has helped on both ends for me and the
I didn't think
customers.
about that on our end.
I know.
We kind of do the same thing. We're like, hey, we're gonna release 150 geckos, or we're gonna release 100 geckos, and there's a lot of work that's done behind the scenes to
Doing the
do that.
previews is even more work. 'cause
I
you
can
gotta get it all
imagine.
up early and
Yes.
I can imagine. So
figure out how to do that. And then now I'm doing the preview
Yeah.
videos, which were even more work because now I got to load everything and do a video.
Right.
But I kind of like that more because then I get to actually talk about them and explain why I like this gecko and what you should be looking at, what makes this one nice. It's almost fun to have that engagement where I can explain things like, what do I see? Why is this gecko more special than this
Than this
gecko?
one,
What
yes.
am I looking at to make it nice?
Mhm. We actually get those emails and messages from people like, hey, you're selling these two geckos. What are the differences? So that probably would clear up a lot of
Yeah, that's kind of
questions
what
for
I
us
thought
as
about
well.
the videos was being able to put a little more explanation into. Cause I get those emails too. A lot of people, well, can you explain how gecko pricing works? I'm like, no, like sorry, I'd love to, but in an email,
That's a hard one.
I
Yeah.
can't.
That's
It's
difficult.
Yeah.
it's mostly experience. You're around
Oh, yeah.
geckos for 5 years and you learn what makes things nicer. And so
It's difficult for us too. We try very hard to keep it, to where anyone can buy from us.
Mhm.
Whether your budget is, lower or higher, we, offer payment plans and things like that, just to attempt to try to make it easier for everyone.
Yeah.
But it is hard for people who aren't typically in this and haven't been in it for a little while to see a gecko and see them as a juvenile or baby or juvenile and visualize what they might look like in the future
Yeah.
and how much value you place on that gecko at that particular time versus when it's older. So it's difficult.
Yeah, it
Pricing
definitely
is so
gets
difficult.
easier the more time you're around and the more geckos you see,
Absolutely.
and just you immerse yourself in that world. But
Understanding
Yeah.
sires and how,
mm,
the
Lineages
different
and-
lineages.
I get that with
Add
my
to it.
wife, even though she's been around them for years. She's not in the business, so
Right.
she'll see one that, oh, that one's super pretty, and I'm like,
Mhm.
that one's not that pricey, and then she'll see one that I price, and she's like, that one's, I don't know, I
She's
really
like,
like that
"Ah."
one. Like, yeah,
Yes.
it takes it's complicated. It's an interesting world we live in.
Oh yeah, definitely. We do the same thing. She's like that with, high whites, and I'm that way with our reds. I'm like, this one is amazing. She's like, it's okay.
I
We're
have-
keeping it anyway.
I had one years ago. I don't know why. There was one that sticks in my mind. An extreme Harlequin I hatched out. This was before like 2010-ish, probably. And I remember I hatched it out and grew it up. It was a female, and I was like, it's all right. I don't really want to sell it. I guess I'll keep it. And then I showed it to a couple people, and they were blown away. Oh my God, that's so nice. And I'm like, really? They just, for whatever reason, they didn't do anything for me. And they thought, I was like, what am I missing? But it was one of those things that one just didn't do it for me like it did other people. And that's,
I think that, the value of something's the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
You really, it depends on what you want.
Right.
Because the right person comes along, they're going to pay what they want to pay for something. If you put a list price on it and they want to pay it, then they'll pay it. If not, then
Yeah, that's something we've talked about a lot this weekend is breeding what you want to breed. So we'll get people that email us and I want to start breeding geckos. What should I breed to make the most money? And I'm like,
that's not how it works.
You should breed what you love, and
Yes.
if you're passionate and committed and you breed
Exactly.
quality animals, you'll find other people that love that more for whatever you're doing as well versus just try and throw a bunch of stuff together because they're gonna make nice babies and I'm gonna get rich. Like that's not how it
Every
works.
single time we breed for our collection needs first.
Yeah, it's all
what
gotta
we
come
want
from
for us.
passion and interest.
Exactly.
There's morphs out there that people ask me, "Oh, you're altitude exotics. Why don't you breed this?" And I'm like, I just don't want to.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they sell for a bunch of money, but that's not why I do this. I breed. We talked about Dalmatians. I bred Confettis back when Confettis were super hot, and when Dalmatians fell out of popularity 5-6 years ago, I still bred a bunch of Confettis because I just love the red spots, and now everybody likes Dalmatians again. And in 4 years, when nobody likes Dalmatians, I'm still going to be trying to breed the craziest red spots I can because I love them. But like I said, there's stuff that people flip out about that I'm just like, yeah, they're nice, but this is not for me. Well, we had to restart the camera because it only records for 30 minutes. We learned that the hard way once when we made a whole useless video because the camera shut off halfway through.
Take 3.
Sorry, this time we got it. We're more prepared.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what we were talking about. But regardless, it has been a heck of a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Plenty of excitement, plenty of events. I'm actually shocked Brian hasn't told the story yet.
Oh, I gotta tell this story. So
Here
we're walking down the
we go.
strip the other night. Let me get a little close to this guy so we get a good comparison going. We're walking down the strip, coming back from dinner the other night. And where were we coming back from? Was that when we went to the steakhouse? Or?
No, it was the UFC.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we went and we had went to a bar to watch the UFC fights the other
Hard
night.
Rock Cafe.
Yeah, we were at the Hard Rock. So we're walking back down the strip, and there's these guys that have this. It's like a pull-up bar set up, and it's a.
It spins.
It's a
it rolls.
scam, basically.
It rolls
Is what
in
it
your
is.
hand.
It's one of those
It
you pay
rolls.
$10, and if you can hold on for 2 minutes, you win $100. But the bar is like on bearings, so it's not like mechanical. It doesn't spin, but when you're holding it, it just wants to rotate.
Right.
So basically, as soon as you get tired and your grip starts to go, the whole bar
Yep.
just spins and you fall off. So we decided to give it a try, and I gotta give me a second, let me get proper. I gotta say, the challenge was to hold on for 2 minutes, and despite my man's vastly superior physical appearance here, he lasted 60 seconds on the bar. I made it all the way to a minute and 31 seconds. I made it before
Very
I fell
true.
off.
Very true.
I'm gonna let you guys
That's
believe
That's
that
accurate.
my muscles are just physically superior to this man's. Either that or I've got about 95 pounds less to hold up on that bar than he does. I'm not saying that had anything to do with it. I'm just throwing all the facts out there and you make up your own minds.
Yes, that's accurate. Very, very
I might
accurate.
have a little less weight to hold up. That might have helped me a little bit.
A lot less weight.
Almost 100
Just
pounds.
about 100 pounds. That was fun. That was a good time.
gosh. Wow.
The fights were a good time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Lots
it
of good
was
food.
good.
I finally got those waffles this morning.
Yeah.
Our first morning here, this guy got some waffles, and I was looking at my avocado toast going, man, I screwed up. Trying to be all healthy eating
The
avocados.
mimosas and the
Yes,
drinks,
mimosas.
everything. is
Mimosas. I feel like we've done more stuff. I can't
We
even
have.
remember.
We
It's been
have.
a wild weekend.
It's been
Yeah.
so nice. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's been great to get to know you guys. Like, we've talked for years, and
Yeah, that was another thing we spoke about. It's like, what happens when we get out here? I hope we get along.
when me and my wife were waiting at the registration desk for these guys to come in when we first got here, and my wife's like, what if we just don't get along? Like, what if there's like they show up and there's like some super big red flags,
It's
and
just
we're like
awkward.
awkward, weird.
Ugh.
Or what if they just don't like us or something? We're like, well, it's gonna be a long weekend.
Yeah.
As we were walking up, we were doing the same
Where
thing.
they at? Where they at? It's like, oh man, okay. And it's been great.
It's been awesome.
It has. It's
We
been
really
perfect.
found a good vibe.
I mean, I've never actually talked to you. I
No.
know who you are, but we've never met or talked. I've talked to Will mostly through
Many
Facebook
times.
Messenger. I think we've
Yeah.
talked on the phone 2 or 3 times ever,
Yep.
and just decided let's get away and
Yeah. And this is
go
volume
on
1
vacation.
of
And
Volume one.
vacations.
it
Exactly.
worked out, man.
Yep.
Yeah, other stuff in the mix.
Yeah, it worked out well.
That's some
We
future
had a
trips
great time with you
planned.
guys. Legitimately good people. I knew you were beforehand, anyways, but
we
Yeah.
felt that way about you.
it's
too.
it's good to get to know you guys and being online friends and mainly business relationship. It's
Right.
easy to know if somebody's a good
Yeah.
person, but on that friendship level when you're hanging out
Absolutely.
and
Like,
just BSing with each other and
Vibing,
doing
yeah.
non-transactional stuff together, it's a whole different
It's
It's a
game.
whole
Definitely.
different game. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. It's been a
Yes.
lot of fun.
And
We've had a
feeling is
great time.
mutual.
Yes.
Feeling is mutual.
Feeling is very mutual.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we should probably get going. We got dinner soon.
Sound like a plan.
One more night of dinner and then back to
Oh man, the
back to
hustle
the
and the
daily
bustle.
Hustle and
Gecko
bustle.
grind.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys for coming out. It's been amazing.
You know it.
We'll definitely, we got more plans in the works.
yeah.
We'll be doing this again
Yes,
Awesome.
definitely.
sometime later this year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, y'all might be doing it 2 times. I think you're going to the jungle with him, aren't you?
Oh,
I heard you wanted to come to Belize.
Oh
Come
no.
on.
Negative.
Chase some snakes.
No, there will be no snakies for
Snakes
me.
chase you.
Exactly, and I don't run very fast. So
The snakes don't chase you. Well, the fer-de-lance do a little bit, but not for very
see,
long.
That's enough. That's enough. Yeah, no.
But awesome.
Yeah, we'll do something later this year. It's
Yeah.
been a good time.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's get down and get some dinner. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this wasn't too boring to watch us sit here and talk about geckos for a while. I figured we're gonna do it all weekend. We might as well do it on camera for a few minutes. and
Accurate.
Bring all y'all along with us. It's been a heck of a time.
Fun times. Thanks for having us.
Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover. I don't think so. No, other trips. If you want to come on a trip with me, obviously it's not going to quite be the same as a one-on-one Vegas trip with my
Right.
boy Will here, but I do got my Belize trip coming up. There's one spot, as of when I'm recording this anyways, I got one spot left for that adventure tour in Belize. It's pretty much going to be very similar to this, but with more people. Obviously we're going to sit and talk geckos every night at dinner, except we'll be out in the middle of the rainforest instead of the concrete jungle here in Vegas. So there'll be a lot of hiking and some snake catching going on. I'm really hoping, I want to find an eyelash viper. I've been there a few times. I've never seen an eyelash viper there. I've seen them in the wild in Costa Rica, but I can't find one in Belize. I've been told they're there. I just can't find one. So
That is to make it some nightmares,
no,
okay?
it's great. They're friendly.
Friendly.
They're real playful. Is what I would
Yeah, I
say.
bet.
Playful, very
Yeah.
playful.
Sounds like it.
Whew.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming out. It's been a great time. Everybody for watching, thank you. We'll see you guys soon in the next video. As always, I'm Brian. Got Will and Audra, Flawless Crested Geckos. Seriously, check out their website.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff for sale all the time. Great to work with. I appreciate you guys coming.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Brian.
Thank you.
So much.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.